Good morning, Philadelphia Eagles fans, and good morning, NFL fans, to week 15 of the 2019 football season. A little bit of a different format this week, as I'm not going to be at the stadium for multiple reasons. I'll just lay it out there real quick. It's pretty packed this week. Army-Navy game here in Philadelphia. Of course, me being a Navy man, go Navy, beat Army. I don't want to deal with all the mess down there, trying to get down there for filming my normal video down there. Not to mention, I do have some Jeep issues that I have to go fix. I'll probably post that stuff as well for educational purposes, so we'll deal with that too. But let's get on to football. That's why we're here. Tomorrow we have a big football game against the Washington Redskins, and I'm going to pretty much do a video, no sizzle, all steak. That's how we're going to roll today. I'm going to start off by saying I'm very actually optimistic about tomorrow. I really am, and I'll tell you exactly reasons why. Even though we have some key people not playing, I do believe my Philadelphia Eagles has what it takes to actually do pretty well tomorrow. So, that being said, how do we go about this? We'll just jump on different sides of the ball and we'll just go with it. I'll start with special teams, sure. Special teams, it's going to be nothing really different. Jake Elliott has run some issues with kicking the ball. Not maintaining perfect, but his percentage is still very, very good. So I don't suspect anything really being wrong with special teams. We did see an attempt at a trick play, but it wasn't on special teams this week, like it was against Miami. So if we just maintain that awareness that we're playing against a team that has nothing to lose and that will do some creative things potentially on special teams and keep our head in the swivel, I think we'll be fine there. So there's no concern special teams wise. Now, I'll go defense first because this is going to be an offense heavy video this week. Defense, we have some questionable people. I can never pronounce this guy's name right. Kemu Gujo Hill or whatever. There's been talks to me about him playing through concussion and all that stuff like that. I'm not going to dive into all that. These guys are professionals, and if he's playing through it and he's saying he's okay and he's not and stuff, it goes into all that concussion protocol stuff and player health. I don't feel like diving into all that. He's a grown man. He makes decisions, whatever. The other one is Ronald Darby. Now, I'm going to probably keep saying this over and over again in this video. You guys that have watched my videos, I'm not a nutcase Ronald Darby guy. I'm actually a Rasul Douglas kind of guy. So, Ronald Darby being questionable and potentially out for tomorrow's game, to me, is not the end of the world. I like Rasul Douglas. He actually intercepts the ball a lot. He's actually a bigger corner, which is one of the reasons why we struggled against Miami with jump balls. I think we're actually better equipped against that when we start Rasul Douglas. So if we do that, and not take Maddox, who's a smaller guy, even though it seems like he covers very well, keep him in the slot and do Rasul Douglas on the outside, I think we're actually better suited not to get torched like we did last time we played him in week 1. We have the same safeties. Linebackers not a huge strong point for us, but between linebackers and line, we can still stop the running game, which we are going to be asked to stop Adrian Peterson, which, yes, he had a long run against us before, and he ran like a 90-yard run. But it's funny, he had a 90-yard run and still didn't rush for 100 yards in the game. So I think that was even last season. So we're going to go up against Adrian Peterson, and we know they're going to want to run the ball a lot because they have Dwayne Haskins at quarterback, and we actually do very well against rookie or very new quarterbacks. Like Jim Schwartz kind of feasts on people like that because his completion rating and his quarterback rating completely goes downhill when it gets rushed, because when you get rushed, you're forced into faster reads and quicker decisions that you're just not equipped yet, which means you're going to make some pretty predictable throws. Either the idea is going to get the ball out of his hands really fast, and when you're a younger wide receiver, not wide receiver, a younger quarterback, those reads are pretty obvious. So as soon as you show blitz, he's going to be trying to check it down. I'm actually looking for the defense to create some turnovers and potentially score 1 or 2 touchdowns against the rookie quarterback. So the best thing they can do is actually try to turn him into a running quarterback and run more of an offense like Baltimore's running right now. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're trying to develop this quarterback to maintain pocket awareness and pocket passing, because the running can come later on. So I do look for us to shut down the run, definitely, and for our corners to be able to jump some routes tomorrow. So I actually think our defense is going to do very, very well. That being said, moving over to the offensive side of the ball, which I think is a bigger question mark for us, but I'm going to give you reasons that I truly believe, and they've been coming true, so I hope you guys that have been watching this channel continue to believe me, because names like Boston Scott I've been talking about for weeks. If you go back a couple weeks, I talked about getting him involved in the game plan because I think he has what it takes, but it's going to be bigger than just his skill set. I truly believe that the skill sets in the NFL are not that far off, just like the speed of receivers. It's not that far off. And I like the idea of grabbing even some of our practice squad players and giving them a shot. Now, in this case, we don't have a choice. Alshon Jeffrey is out, and he might even miss part of 2020 season with his injury now. Deshaun Jackson is out. Nelson Aguilar is most likely out. We don't have all these other wide receivers, so we bring up a guy like Greg Ward, and he's starting to catch the ball a lot. We are running the ball more because we don't have Howard. We're running the ball more with Boston Scott, which he had 120, 130 all-purpose yards last week on passing and running and catching the ball out of the backfield. That's he started looking like Darren Sproles, and that's why the Saints drafted him, and that's why we traded for him, and that's why we tried to draft Pumphrey to be the Darren Sproles replacement, and that blew up in our face, a 4th-round draft pick. But I truly believe this is going to work out. But you're taking a guy from Louisiana, I think, that's hungry, putting him next to another guy that's drafted kind of high, and Miles Sanders. You're grabbing wide receivers like Greg Ward and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside was a draft pick, but Greg Ward, and now we got this guy, I think Robert Davis, that runs like 4.4 speed, and then it's a bigger wide receiver. You're now grabbing hungrier players. I'm not going to knock necessarily Jeffrey, Aguilar, and Deshaun Jackson. I mean, Deshaun Jackson's just a burner. I just wish, yes, he was playing, because that's how we beat the Redskins the first time. But you're grabbing these guys that want this opportunity now. They're playing for jobs, and they want to stay on the team for a long time. And I think what you're going to start seeing is hopefully the transition of how the Eagles are run. Ever since we won the Super Bowl in 2017, it seems like we've been holding on to an idea that we have to hold on even to some of the players that did it for us. I mean, Alshon had a great playoff run against, the Vikings and against the Patriots in our first Super Bowl. But we've hung on to him too long. I mean, now he's getting injured all the time. It seems like he might be the person that's causing communication issues, all sorts of stuff. There's been something weird going on. And instead of dealing with all that, along with all the money it takes to keep people like that, why not give young people a shot? I think there's something that's playing in our favor. Is nobody has tape on these new guys. You're talking about Ward, Perkins, and Davis. Nobody's heard of these guys. It's actually playing out in our favor because it's going to be less hype. Because these guys are going to be in the film room just making sure they're running the right routes. They're going to be probably pretty engaged. It's not going to get into meeting rooms going, oh yeah, I just got this, oh yeah, I got this, I have, these years of experience in the NFL. No, these people are wide-eyed open, going, okay, now is my time. I have to prove myself. I'm trying to get a shot and stay in the NFL on a team that has a division that's up for grabs. The NFC East is up for grabs. We're tied for first at 6-7. No, make no mistake about it. That's crappy, but I'll take it. So these people are going to be fully engaged, which means Wentz, his leadership or whatever is going to be taken to a different level. And you saw with the Giants game, the first half of the Giants game looked like crap. It was one of the first times I felt so deflated as an Eagles fan. Like, I'm still watching it because I'm a nutcase Eagles fan, but I was just discouraged by that first half against the Giants. And then it seemed like, and I hope that Carson Wentz is starting to learn that you have to get everybody involved. Once you get everybody involved, it's a lot harder for a defense to predict what you're going to do. Once you start seeing Carson Wentz throw to Ward and Perkins and having Boston Scott out of the backfield, the defense goes, oh gosh, okay, they're going to use everybody. They're not going to just zone into Zach Ertz. And then that's when it comes back to using Zach Ertz, and that's why they absolutely didn't guard him on that last play, which I thought was insane. But using all of your weapons is what makes weapons like Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, and whoever else you have more dangerous, not the other way around. You don't just keep zoning into Zach Ertz, because then defense is just going to double team him. So I actually like what we're going to put on the field this week. I actually think we're going to do very well. I think we're going to keep it more simple, which is what we need to do in order for these rookies to play at higher speed so we can win. Now, forget about next week right now, even though it's very hard to, because pretty much the division is going to be up for grabs that next week as well. I mean, we play Washington this week. Dallas plays the Rams. We're first up at 1 o'clock. Dallas plays at 4 or 4:15 or wherever they got against the Rams. And we have the potential at getting a one-game lead going into next week where we might be able to clinch a home playoff game, but clinch the NFC East with a win over Dallas next week. But we got to take care of our responsibilities this week. I really think we can do that. I think we're forced into a position that's going to force us to make certain calls that I think we should have been making a long time ago. We should have moved on from certain wide receivers. It's hard holding on to people, just like looking at offensive linemen. I mean, Jason Peters. Yeah, he's going to go down as one of the greatest Philadelphia Eagle linemen of all time, but we're holding on to him too long. Lane Johnson being out, that sucks, and it's forcing Vitae in, but it's forcing us to make decisions on turning over this roster and something we need to do, not just from even a financial standpoint of these large contracts, but experience-wise. We have to develop systems to develop players quicker so we're not paying as much and we're getting faster, healthier, younger team that can compete year in and year out, and we have to focus more on drafting better and just getting productive players. Forget about the flash in the pan and these big... No, you need to get solid players that are young, healthy, fast, hungry. I mean, you can get whatever free agents you want. I mean, let's learn, again, I'm saying this again, let's learn from our Phillies. We got a big free agent, and then the team he came from won the World Series. So the point's to win the whole game, the whole thing, the trophy at the end of the season. Not to be paper champions, kind of like we were at the beginning of the season. We're fielding a completely different wide receiver core. We're fielding almost a completely different backfield. And that's okay. So, yeah, no crazy hype this week. I'm going to save that for next week. I'm going to leave the stadium stuff alone with an Army-Navy game. And this is just my thoughts. I really think the Eagles are actually in a good spot. We don't have to play against Ryan Kerrigan this week. He's actually injured. I don't root for injuries. That guy's a big pain in the butt. That guy crushes us all the time. So our running game, once again, needs to be a highlight of us. I'm looking for our wide receivers to actually do well, for there to be a different energy on our team. I'm looking for us to light it up for real. And I have this different level of optimism for my Philadelphia Eagles. Not saying, I'm not against us going on a run. And even, I will keep tracking Deshaun Jackson coming back. But I'm looking for us to gain a different energy that nobody sees coming, including some of our own fans. Fine. And I'm looking for us to beat Washington in a pretty good way. And to get ready to play for the NFC East here at home against Dallas. So, for my diehard fans here at this channel. Thanks for tuning in. I know this is a little bit more calm before the storm, especially playing Watchmen, but this week is focus week. Let's focus on just having a good game. No hype. Glad we're away from home and be able to go down to Washington, just take care of business, then sit back and watch Dallas hopefully lose against the Rams. And then we'll handle all the business this week so we have a shot next week at winning the NFC East here in Philadelphia. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go Birds. Let's do this. Beat Washington! Beat Washington! And go Navy.